Hello everyone, and welcome to a new edition of Score Sheet. The African Cup of Nations are our major topic for tonight. I am Ibrahim Qabil, and for the next hour we are happily having Mr. محمد مصباح, one of the regulars here in Score Sheet and on Nile TV. Much more about yesterday's match and our route in the African Cup of Nations 2022 are coming up in this episode. Short break and we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. Hello, Mr. Muhammad.
Hello.
Okay, how are you today?
All great, all great.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
And how was your way to TV?
Oh, it's much better because I think the weather now making everybody staying home. So it was extremely nice to find the road that's somehow empty compared
All
to
right,
the
that's great. We have a lot of topics to discuss for tonight. And as you know, the African Cup of Nations are the main topic for tonight. And a vital goal by Mohamed Salah in yesterday's match turned the table upside down and showed how far the 7 times champion of this tournament are capable of making a difference. How far do you see this match and what's your read for this match?
I think the main or the most important point here is the 3 point of the match, because you just mentioned that as a national team we won it 7 times, and we actually were in the situation that it's a tough situation, because without the 3 points you are almost very close to lose the hope in continuing this actually journey in this tournament. So the main important point is gaining 3 points at this match. I can say that it's making a difference because it's making the stress is less, the morale is more up, I can say. The motivation for player is much higher, because you can imagine if you're in a situation of only 1 point, not 3, it will be very tough against Sudan, especially such type of matches. In the next match, it's somehow there is a kind of normal competition between the 2 countries, actually considered before as a one country and still as a one country, which is Egypt and Sudan. There is a kind of competition on it, even they don't have a lot of hopes, but they're still again fighting till the end. So I think the main and the most important point is gaining 3 points, gaining a trust, gaining I can say a kind of confidence that we're still on the right track in making it happen in this tournament. But for sure, there's a lot of comments about the match. There's a lot of concerns about the way and the emotional intelligence for the player dealing with the sensitive actually moments at this match. And I can say they need to think in all that. Especially I can say we have an excellent chance, because the time or the duration between the matches is enough for us to recover and plan and think and rehearsal and what's happened in previous matches. Yeah.
Okay, we are second in the group, as you said, with 3 points. And it's the second match in the group stages, and we are going to face Sudan. Before moving to this, how far do you see that the second match are totally different from the first one tactically, as there are a lot of says or a lot of criticism hanging in the air about the mispositioning of the players, about head coach Captain Queiroz tactical plan for the team. How far do you see that this is a little bit different, that we achieved this goal?
I think we all agree that we have a lot of concerns in the way that Mr. Queiroz managing the team, but we should have a level of maturity in dealing with this. We are in the middle of a big tournament. I'm not saying that he's the best guy or what he's doing is the magic or anything. It's not the right time to talk about his contract details.
No, we're gonna move to the contract details in
Yes,
later in the
but-
episode. But first of all, let's speak about on the ground. How far the team are improving or they are standing still?
To be honest, there is a kind of improvement because simply we returned back to the track, to the original plan. Original plan that each person should play in his place. For example, if you have a best player in the world and he used to play in a position, you should put him in this position. Less exchanges are kind of still stubborn in specific players by bringing, for example, Abdullah Saeed to the game while he's not ready to do that, insisting in a specific player. But for sure, there is a major change. It happened, especially in the attacking side, because you find the real striker. We missed the striker in the first match because we put Salah as a striker while it's not in his position. We returned back to have a right places in the right place. So this has given a lot of confidence to the team in playing this match, because I can say the players play comfortably. Because if you're in your place, in your, I don't like to say comfortable zone, but in your zone, actually, this will make you perform better. So he returned back to the standard, I can say, and with less negative creativity, I can say. So that support a lot. And at the end of the day, the kind of stress and the objective of the player that we don't have a lot of options except winning the match, so it makes it different. Compared to the first match, it's totally different because in the first match, we're totally lost because everybody not in his place, people are emotionally and psychologically, they're not ready for that. So even you put them in such type of position, and they're not ready. I still remember a lot of coaches, they make it before, and it was successful because they make a kind of preparations before. Even Egypt or outside. So you make such type of changes without a kind of preparation and psychological treatment. So you are not in your place, you are not comfortable, and you are not ready to perform in the new place. This is in the first match. After a lot of concerns, and nowadays it's tough to say that the employees is out of the media. Employees still have an access to their mobiles, social media, their account, and all that. The players felt that they're stressed, and the people in Egypt are not happy. The fans in Egypt are not happy. So
yes, we are not satisfied by the performances so far. But let's move to another point and let's generalize about all the players in the tournament. How far do you see that the COVID-19 pandemic affects this tournament in general in order not to come up with such a satisfactory way?
It is affecting for sure the performance for all teams, but I can't say it's the main factor because, you know, we consider nowadays COVID-19 is the new normal. So we should consider it as a part of the life. This is the right way to deal with it in football, on the life, on our social life. So you should be ready in the life, you know. We are talking always about innovation, agile, and change in the life. And this is part of the change. All teams, all national teams, they need to be ready with that. And you find in Europe, they return it very fast and very strong. You can find everybody now, they return it back to stadium and even the conditions they put after that. It's impacting for sure. I can't say it's not impacting because, for example, if you're losing a major players, it impacts your team. But the ready and the winners, they should be ready with plan B, plan C, plan D, and plan Z. So such type of impact it is in. But if you need to win, you need to be ready with other plans actually to make it happen. And this is part of the management for such teams in 2022. In the past, football is just playing. Now it's about planning, having a strategy, return on investment, preparation. So when you hear, for example, in Real Madrid, they have, or in Germany, the national team, they have a 64 analysts to analyze the players and the competitor and all that. So now we move to this world, yeah.
All right, Mohammed, let's move back to our national team and let's speak about Mohamed Salah. So far, he's entitled Man of the Match.
Yeah.
Okay, that's for sure, and that's obvious for all Mohamed Salah fans, all Egyptian football fans. Another player, Shinawi as a goalkeeper. How do you read his heroic savings through the last match?
You know, when you're asking me, I still remember a very interesting statement for Buffon when they asked him about the right goalkeeper, and he said that the right goalkeeper who may receive one attack and he save it. So this is exactly Shenawi. Shenawi, maybe he is the goal, he comes on the critical time. And this is the value of the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper for a big team, they don't have a lot of attack like small team. But such type of attack they need to stop. Shenawi yesterday, he make a great save. And I can say in the minute is 94 or something like that. This is a critical. And if he walks this, actually, you realize that he's not walking the pole. So he plays with his expectation because someone covering the ball from the defense. So I can consider he's a very great asset to the team. And he has the spirit and he has the passion. And he's a person always motivated and motivate the team. I consider him actually a very important asset. And without him, we are in a very big trouble, especially even in the first match. We can leave this match with a big catastrophe, I can say, because he saved like 3-4 goals. It can be like 3 or 4, and this will be very critical for us. So I can consider him for sure with Salah, and with other player, I can't forget Zizou as a very, I can say, aggressive person in his attack. Amr Saleh as well. So we need to rely on such type of player. We need to bond them in because it's about their performance, about their encouragement, it's about their motivation, it's about their leadership on the team itself. And to be honest, if there is a kind of peace to corrosion about that, will be about that. So if you have someone ready and can perform, please include him. It's not a kind of ego in selecting as a player. It's about more who's fitting more to do the job. Yeah. So he's a great asset to us.
Right. There are a lot of says about the as you mentioned this point, fitting in the places, the mispositioning. How far do you agree with Kurosh's substitutes and Kurosh's positioning of the players? Do you see that it's gonna refruit for the upcoming matches, or it's just a plan out of the blues?
To be honest and very frank, I'm usually not attacking the middle of any tournament, but Kurosh, he didn't understand still the capabilities of Egyptian players well. For example, he insists on players and his selection, and he's a stubborn guy. All his life and his career is like that. He's a guy, he's insistent on his point of view. If he listen more, I think he will add a lot. But again, while you know, selection a coach is a big issue. If you're selecting one in his age, it's not easy to change his mindset. If you're bringing one, he's like 40s, it's easy to deal with a gentleman because he's still more flexible. When you become old in doing this, you're old even accepting a change, and he's that guy. You're going to a very big tournament, official tournament, and then the first match, you're still trying with your own mind. While you have Shawi, while you have Wael Gum'a, and all have their sides, so you are not listening to those people. You are just following your strategy. And he changed it in the next match because he started to feel that he's on fire. So he will be impacted, so he started to change that. But he's stubborn guy, he's not. He insisted, for example, again, to bring someone, everybody told him he's not fit. Bring someone like 38 years old with an African teams, it's not easy in terms of speed, in terms of accepting actually such type of competition. So you bring him, and you insist again to take only 25 people, while everybody told you, as you mentioned, we are in COVID-19, there is a risk, we need more players to be ready, and to be honest, 3 more tickets will impact you. So you should take those people. If you're talking about focusing, you can have like a lot of big coaches in the world, have 2 teams. First team is just working with you, and second team be ready, but with you and Karen itself, so they know the weather, environment, hotel, and everything. But he's a stubborn guy, and this is actually something we need to deal with. And he didn't change his mind unless he feels like a very tough position like what's happening in Nigeria.
All right. African Cup of Nations behind doors are an interesting topic, but let's get out for a short break, and we'll be back again. Again, that was a collective video for our participation through several years, as we are winners of the 7th time African Cup of Nations title, and much more in this episode with Muhammad Mosbaah once again. All right, we are speaking about coaching and misunderstanding of the Egyptian nature of the players and so far. All right. today, Liverpool wrote a tweet, okay, encouraging Mohamed Salah, go on Pharaoh, go on Egyptian King, and won the tournament. How far do you see that this tweet has, let's say, an emotional impact on the player and on the national team as well?
I will return it back to a very important topic. Football is an industry and it's business.
Okay.
Such type of tweeting about Salah, there is a lot of gain. First, the relation between Liverpool and Salah now in critical position, as he mentioned, because he's asking for a kind of salary and financial outcome for them they can't afford. So they need to, I can say, repel the relation more and grow the relation more by doing that. Second, which is very important, that still having a fan from Middle East, Africa for Liverpool is always an objective. So playing with emotion and playing with a kind of having more fans from Middle East, it means money and game for Liverpool. So again, they're building a relationship with Salah. Again, they're having a kind of fans from Egypt and Middle East and Africa, which is a big gain for them. And the third point, they're believing in this, motivating our players and making them engage with us, which is they mean it at the end of the day, that we need him to return back to us motivated, encouraged, we supported you while traveling. So it's not only a kind of tweeting about someone, it's about having connections and the positive connection with a global event, with an African, with Egyptian, with Salah himself. So it's creating an event by just tweeting about this. People saying you're just doing it. No, they will do it, by the way, with Sadio Mane as well. Once he scored, and they did it already, once he do it, they will do that. Why? Because they need to do the same with the player and people from his country saying, and all that. So it's everything planned and everything with a structure. So doing that. And even he fails, they will support him in a way and different. So managing the social media and managing the account for such type of team is strategy. They have a marketing team, they have a social media team, big team, not only one person. And this team have a plan. Okay, we have a player going to that. What if, plan, scenario, and then they apply it. Everything with science and management can make a difference. So thank you, Liverpool, for sure, but behind it a lot of messages here.
Yes. Okay. Next Wednesday, we are going to face Sudan. Let's together brainstorm about what we need from this match, and we need a score in order to compete with a head high in this tournament. How do you read this?
First, it's interesting because Sudan have 1 point now. Okay, so Sudan still have a chance to be from the best third teams. So Sudan coming to this match with an objective and with a dream. So they didn't lose the hope. So first thing that we need to understand, that Sudan is not coming just to have a nice time. No, they're coming to fight and even to win. Because if they win this match, they will be in the competition. It's just a surprise. If Sudan with this match will be 4 points, Egypt will be 3 points. So we just need to understand the system of this group. It's not just, oh, because we win and they lost. No, Sudan have 1 point, we have 3. So next match is not easy, it's tough. People saying, okay, but we win against Sudan. Past in football is past. I can play in 1 week against same team twice with 2 different scores. So such type of calculation is totally wrong in football. Football is a crazy game. And today was a crazy match, actually, with Cote d'Ivoire was a crazy match, and Sierra Leone. It's just an example, till the moment 94. So such type of calculation need to be very accurate. The problem actually in Sudan, in facing Sudan, they are not organized. They don't have a specific tactic. And this is sometimes managing the team is not easy against this. If you are playing with the big teams, you'll find that you have a structure to play. But when you play with an unorganized team, it's more critical, because this is putting you sometimes in a tough situation. So I'm expecting it a kind of crazy. They have nothing to lose. And it's very important to understand, when you play against someone have nothing to lose, so he will play free and strong. So such type of things need to be considered, because the system of the tournament, first 2 and the third, and the best third. So they still, if it's the first 2, Sudan maybe, even if the first 2, Sudan still have the chance to be in. So it's tough match, I can say. with a team have a dream, with a lot of positive, sensitive relation always with.
We
our
have a
friends.
dream too, for sure.
Yes.
Okay, let's move to another point. Cameroon are topping Group A, Guinea Group B, Morocco Group C, Nigeria Group D, Ivory Coast Group E, and Gambia Group F. Let's speak about a sleeping giant in here, Algeria. It's second runner-up for the tournament, so is it possible for Algeria to snatch a title in here?
To be honest, maybe semi-final. They're strong enough, but still the most strongest team in this is Cameroon.
The host country.
Yes, and Morocco as well. Both are very organized. They have a good striker. They have a good. Algeria, they're playing now. I don't know, but the first match they didn't perform. And Algeria, I have a point of view about it because Algeria already reached the top, and you can't stay in the top long. The motivation for players, even Riyad Mahrez, he joined the team 2 days before the tournament itself because he was in the engagement party. So such type of things is playing very important now. Still Cameroon, Morocco and Nigeria comes third in my opinion because the way they're playing and the way the structures and the I can say the backup even plans they have is very strong. But still you'll find a lot of surprises. We're still having a surprise with Sierra Leone today, so you'll find a lot of surprises in this tournament. But Cameroon and Morocco still, for my opinion, in the top of the list here.
All right. A 4-0 for Tunisia. What do you think of this scary scoring so far? Is it a threat for the group's team then?
It's threat at the same time. It's a kind of revenge because Tunisia in the first match it was extremely funny match and extremely out of the football. So Tunisia felt that they felt that it's not fair game. So today, with our effort, we will show the real face of Tunisia. Still, for sure, one of the comment beat, but the current generation of Tunisia is not the ideal, actually, of the competition itself. So I'm considering them in, but not compared with other two teams, for example, like Cameroon and Morocco. But today they did it like that because they felt very bad after the first match. To be honest, because it was not fair. It was not fair to them. Such type of cut of the market itself in 85 and they're stopping it and they return back and all this not making you within the game. It makes you out of the game while already it was 1-0 against them. So such type of feeling gives them, okay, let's today show them another face actually against everything like they're saying. Yeah.
And it came with this sweet revenge of 4-0.
Exactly, because they are under huge stress under the first match from everything and they feel it's not fair. So let's rely on ourselves and make it happen. This is the reason today they make it 4, yeah.
Okay. What about Ivory Coast? How do you see Ivory Coast is one of the top contenders in this tournament as well?
They are, but again, I can't put them in the first class level today, especially after today's match. They are strong, but this actually group, we have a lot of expectation about it, but Cote d'Ivoire and Algeria, the post till now, are not performing as expecting. You can put them in the next level of competition, yes, but especially you lost today the goalkeeper. I don't know if he's going to continue or not. And the second one, not on the same level like the first one. And this very critical position as well. And returning back to your point, with the next matches, you'll find a lot of surprises because COVID-19 test may exclude a lot of important players as well. Because actually the preparation for Cameroon for this is not that high. So you'll find a lot of people may be positive. Even the next tournament, you'll find the big team losing important point because of that. Here is the point: the ready teams will be winning more than they have an, I can say, replacements. They have a backup plan on that, but they're not till now showing the real face of Cote d'Ivoire like we faced before. Yeah.
Okay, Mohammed, let's back to our national team once again, and let's make a simple link between the African Cup of Nations and qualifying for the World Cup. What actually do we need for the Egyptian team in order to advance and in order to be shown in such a global competition?
It's totally different. It's totally different because as a coach, when you plan for a tournament, long actually period, different matches on the same place, the preparation is totally different than two matches. Two matches, and the first match will be in a country, in the other country, and the second match will be in your country. Is there is a fans or not? So there is a huge difference between both in terms of preparation. The problem again is that we have a kind of stubborn, a kind of coach, because in the Arab actually competition, you should learn the lesson and understand there is actually action need to be taken. But he went to this, and this is making us somehow worry that this person need to be more flexible, need to understand more what's going on, because this competition, the two matches, it's like gambling. You have two matches. If you play, if you don't have a luck in one of them, so you are out of the competition. It's not like tournament. You have still the chance. We played in the first match one, but we still have a chance. Even the second match, we still have a chance. But with the two matches, no. You should be 100% focused. Luck should be on your side. Fitness and mental thinking should be very high level. Otherwise, you will lose the game.
Okay, this is a good point. Let's speak about it a little bit. We have a lot of internationals in this tournament, okay? How far do you see that the impact of international playing is shown in here in this the AFCON 2022? From the Egyptian players.
Yeah, this is the point. I'll speak about the Egyptian player here because this is Kirosh's strategy. When he went to Iran, he was very focused to bring the expat or the actually people.
Those who are professional abroad?
Exactly. He was very keen. And people in Iran, he gave him a hard time and he was insisting. When he came in Egypt, he has the same strategy. He's trying to bring a player. This is a good point. But you need to be fair and you need to think. It's about just someone playing in Germany or someone playing in Egypt. It's not like that. It's about who's fit to do the role. So he bring Marmoud and he's playing another and playing another. It's good. But the question you should hire and you should put the player who's capable more. Sulaya is not playing outside Egypt and he's the best one in the middle. Hamdi Fath is the same. So it's not about playing where, you need to find them. And this is his strategy. He bring Trezeguet, and I still remember his quote in one of the interviews. He's saying, I bring Trezeguet and I'll put him anywhere. My friend, you're a big coach, you can't make it like that. He said like that. He said, Trezeguet is an excellent player, I need him in, and I'll put him in a place. You know, there is a strategy of recruitment or even hiring players. You need to find the position and then you find the player. Not bringing a player and find a position for him. And this is what he's doing.
Okay, Muhammad, so as a general point of view, we are relying heavily on the guy. So if it wouldn't have been for Kirosh, which one of the Egyptian coaches are capable of doing that job? What do you think of Hussam Hassan? What do you think of any other coach?
To be honest, first is we need to give him a chance in different ways. I don't think so. Sometimes, again, Egyptians are very emotional. Hussam is a great guy as a player, but what's his achievement as a coach? This is a very important point. Having a strong CV with the national teams or even a potentiality is very important. The guys, I think, is training teams now for 13, 14 years. We don't need someone just to motivate. We can bring a motivational coach. It's something different.
A lot of reads are things.
Exactly. But if we're talking about a football coach, we need someone with tactics, we need someone with different plans and so on. But we need mature people to deal with Kirosh in a very high level, convincing him, you need to be in the table. If you're playing with a contract, we can play with another thing. This is such type of, I can say, high level discussions, okay? And you need to be careful because if you're playing with fire, you will be in fire. Such type of very high level should be in with such type of the coach we have now. Not saying, we're saying we'll support you, we'll motivate you, but at the end of the day, you have a batch of assistants, you need to rely on them. I'm not sure if someone doing this with him or not, but this is something need to happen now. It's not about insulting the guy, he's the main responsible, but we need to explain. This is the right thing to do now with such type of caliber. We have Ingada, for example, the gentleman who bring him. What's his role in this? And especially I know that the two are very close friends. So are they talking together about that? This is the real business discussion about the football if we need someone to make a success. Talking about replacement is not the right time, maybe.
Yes, and it's hard as well.
Yes.
All right, let's stop in here for a short break and we'll be back once again with محمد مصباح and the AFCON 2022 and our match there.
Live with no fear.
All right, we're back once again, and one more final part are left. All right, Muhammad, let's make a simple comparison between the current tournament and the glory days of 2006 and 2008 in simple way.
It's different because before we have a lot of fans supporting the team at this time, especially I think 2006 was in Egypt, as I remember, or 8.
Yes, 2006 was here in Egypt.
Exactly. So if you return it back to such type of days, you'll find a different generation of players. You find a different national coach, to be honest, who's more understanding the players, their psychology, and the way he treats. While we are talking about an amazing goalkeeper now, we have at this time a champion goalkeeper as well, who is now the goalkeeper coach actually.
Yes.
Hadri. So we have actually a lot of icons.
Hussam al-Hadari, Abu Treka.
We have Treka. So we have
Amr Zeki and
exactly.
much more of those lightning names in the sky.
I'm not saying that the current generation is not the same, but the environment is the same. It's not the same. Playing in a different country with such type of tough condition is different. At this time, we have a lot of local players playing together. Nowadays, we have a mix between people playing outside and people playing in Egypt itself. So I'm not saying, and still, while I'm saying that we have a lot of things to develop, I still having the hope, because such type of tournament is stages. If you pass the first stage, maybe you're in a better or a totally different position.
Okay, Muhammad, you dropped a point in here before we started the episode. We were speaking about Cameroon and the organizing of the competition. How far do you read, or how far do you see that Egypt in organizing the competition in 2006 was more advanced than Cameroon nowadays, 2022?
Even 2019, when we last time we organized it. To be honest, first we need to admit that we are all African. We are very proud to be attached to Africa, and we are very proud that we are doing it. So this is a great achievement. But you know, football nowadays, people need to understand it's not only a game. It's an industry, it's a business, it's planning, it's management. Infantino himself, he never played football. And he's a lawyer. And he's the chairman of the FIFA, which is the biggest organization. So it's more about business. And this is what the country doing it. We missed this concept in organizing the event. Having infrastructure, decent actually stadium and field, a decent hotels, entertainment. I have a lot of people who who just traveled on this, and they're telling me it's fun. It's not. There's a lot of things missed. The safety is
or
very
the playgrounds are meeting the international standards.
Oh my God! You know, before I just joined today, the show, actually the match between Cote d'Ivoire and Sierra Leone, the goalkeeper, I think he had a problem because of the field itself. There's a problem on it, and you can see it easily. The hotel standard on this, the fans itself, the safety and security, and football now is attached was fun. I still remember the time when I was in London in Wembley Stadium, and they have a big actually festival in front of the stadium, and they have a mall for shopping. They have, so it's not only a game. All this is based in Cameroon, so it's just a dry competition. And a lot of miss in organizing the event itself. We need to pride. We shouldn't take it, and even the technology itself and applying on it, the HD cameras and all this is not in. So I'm very optimistic that we'll have a better one in Africa next time.
Yes, for sure, and we hope we have a great score next Wednesday against Sudan. Muhammad Mosbah, sports analyst. It's a great addition to be with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you everyone for being with us. We have a full coverage of AFCON 2022. I'm Ibrahim Qabil. Thanks for watching, and see you again.